Good everyone, welcome to today's video. Today we're going to be going over the AB43 and my personal review on it. Now, as you may have seen in the first battle in this thing, at first I thought I wasn't going to like this thing. The gun just didn't seem punchy enough. But I was wrong. I think I was just driving the vehicle a bit too aggressively, and I do apologise for my voice. I am losing it this morning. So, the AB43 is essentially just an upgraded AB41. It's got it's got just about 18 horsepower, I think it is, in terms of an improved engine, but it does gain 0.4 of a ton because of this turret. And obviously the ammunition inside the vehicle. So the reload rate isn't too bad, it's 5.3 seconds. And the gun itself, obviously I haven't fully spaded it at this time, just so I made that clear. But these upgrades make literally no difference to the vehicle, but I thought I'd do this because, knowing my luck, there's going to be an auto patch and it's just going to delete every single replay I have for this vehicle. That I don't want to happen, so I thought I'd get this over and done with now. I'll probably spade this when I get back from college later at the time of this recording, because I'm actually back at college now, ladies and gentlemen. I'm in 3 days a week. Tuesday I'm only in for an hour. Thursday I'm in pretty much all day, and Friday I'm in from 11 till 3. So you probably won't get a video on a Thursday. Well, this Thursday you will, and the next Thursday I believe you will. But just bear in mind, sometimes I may not upload on a Thursday. Anyway, less about my college. I can always go into a description video about that. The gun itself has decent penetration, decent explosive filler, and it's very capable at one-shotting. You just have to take into account that you will fight B1's. And B1's are a nightmare to deal with in this thing. Because, same as with the AB41, if we go to the armor profile, not much has changed. It's still 8mm thick. You don't use this thing for its armor, that's for certain. However, the turret has gained a slight increase. The sides and rear are 8mm thick. The top is 8. The optics are 8. The top of the vehicle here is 6. And the rear is still 5. This lower part, however, has been increased to 8mm. It's really the turret front. So this is 18mm thick, which is exactly the same as the AB41. Then you have a 15mm plate here, and finally a 37mm plate here. Now this has saved me from I think it was a Stuart shell. I had the turret around about there, and it ricocheted off here. I do apologise about that, something just wanted to update there. Probably all the tanks. Which I so need to delete. And the vehicle itself isn't too bad. But this gun, I wasn't used to the gun depression. -7 is pretty good, but you can only utilize certain positions with -7. And today I'm going to show you the second battle I had on Japan for the Spade impressions. And oh my god. I had 5 straight defeats driving this thing the other night. But anyway, let's get into it. So the vehicle itself has a decent reload, decent speed, decent reverse rate, which I make use of in this video. Well, replay. It's not too bad, and fair enough, I'm doing the Spaded impressions early, so to speak, but the upgrades I have left to do, that was quotation marks, really won't impact the performance of the vehicle, so we'll just call it Spaded for now. Then obviously I have to grind the camouflages for it, and if I get any decent footage, I'll probably use it. So because I'm a muppet, I forgot to turn down my sound again. I do apologise for my croaky throat. I have no idea where this has come from. I've been having a bad voice for the last few days, to be fair. Well, more like few weeks. So I'm just going to skip ahead to one of my favourite spots, and I recommend you guys use this as well. However, you do need a bit of decent gun depression, and this ridge right here, just near the end of F4. I spot this B1 turret, and I communicate rather effectively in the chat. I decided to go for the Stuart. First shot misses. Second shot. Perfect hit. Straight through the side at Stewart. Dead. And obviously this is a scout carb. You can use it as a scout. I don't. Single shot on the A13. That's him knocked out. Second kill. I let the team know there's a B1 turret, and that's probably the only thing that can efficiently bounce your gun. You don't have enough penetration to get pretty much anywhere through a B1 turret other than the turret. And even then, good luck trying because that thing's heavily armed. It has a 47 like you, but still. I spotted this LVT, but unfortunately can't press the gun. There's the B1, and I thought he'd spotted me at this point, so I dived down to cover. Now for some reason, Rodgat in his M1340 decides to start shooting from my position. That's not the point of this position, buddy. You're supposed to go down into the low ground and back up whenever you can get a shot, but I was worried he was going to draw fire to my position. And for some reason he's shooting over there. At first I had no idea what he was shooting at, but I decided to dive into cover because what I didn't know at the time, there was actually a B1 Biz over there until a couple of minutes later. I see the gun flash, there's an AMC-35 as well. I spot the B1, I fire. Obviously it's B1, so it's got pretty tough armor, so you will struggle to penetrate it. I reckon if I had aimed that shot there a little bit to the left, I could have probably had him. Straight for the driver's port, that is. And obviously Rutgat, being the muppet that he is, drawing fire to my position. He's just got shot by the B1 Biz over there. I'm staying in cover. Now I was originally going to show the match on Poland, where I actually shoot down an aircraft for this thing. I fired a 47 at him because my machine gun ran out of ammo, and I hit it bang on. It was a pretty good shot, but it was just the level of team, shall we say, effort in that battle was just far too little, and I don't want you guys raging at the screen. Trust me, I was already doing that. And then of course we get the skillless pilots in RB and also AB who kamikaze, because yes, I do get kamikazed, and this thing's got a cracking reverse rate, but can only do so much. Now the B1's firing at my old position, and also Rutgat's, but obviously Rutgat has been taken out at this point. And for some reason, an L333 decided to go charging headlong at the B1 turret. Now, I don't know why you would even try that with a regular B1 Biz, because, well, you can't penetrate him. Trying that with a B1 Tur is a bit over the top. And there you can see the driver's port. The driver's port is relatively flat in spots on a B1. This B1 Tur driver, we'll see him later in the chat. Not till the very end of the battle, mind you. So I believe at this point it gets a bit quiet. So I'm just going to put it on 2 times just to help speed this along a little bit. Because the B1 Tur is pretty much immune to my gun. The L640 really can't penetrate him. I believe I take a couple of shots at him. I can see his track right here. But the problem is, there's no point finding a track. Start rotating the turret because I've seen these guys. But here's the lack of gun depression again. If I was in the AB41, I probably could have depressed the gun reasonably much further and I wouldn't have to back up as much. I was going to go for a shot on that H39, but no point taking a shot when you just backed up. So I'm going to go to 4 times because, well, not a lot really happens. Hang on. Oh yes, the South 40. First shot takes out his gunner. Now what the South 40 should have done is backed up. But no, he's just going to sit there. Thank you very much, mate. 4th kill. There's actually another South 40 down there, I believe, but he can't fire at my position. Because in the South 40, the gun is mounted rather low in the chassis, because it's based off the S35, and well, not much you can do there. So this is a good spot to use in the AB41 and the AB43, but you really do need about 10 degrees of gun depression to work this position a bit better. I really do apologise for my throat, ladies and gentlemen. And there's an M8 HMC, and obviously lack of gun depression. Don't worry, I get to put a shell in him later. Bit of spoiler alert there. But yes, after this recording, I'm gonna try and get this thing spaded before I go to college. If I don't, then well, not forced. And there we go. Told you I'd put a shell in him. He only had 2 crew left anyway. There's my ace for the match. B1 turret attempts to fire at my position. He does get rather close, but now I'm behind the ridge line, so you can't really do much. I'm spotting a B1, but he's actually covered in bushes. He's sat right here. I started to get shot at by a plane. It was actually a D371. However, I believe at this point, yes, he does. He doesn't understand the concept of avoiding trees, so he literally becomes a tree hugger. I mean, I don't know if the D371 was partially made of wood, but I guess you can just go back to being a tree hugger and don't try and kamikaze an armoured car, because this thing's actually got armour to defend against your bullets, which is not much of an achievement. So the B1 now, or the TER, now knows where I am. And obviously, the TER has 70mm of armour pretty much everywhere. So there's not a lot I can do to this guy, but you can do that. If you're lucky enough to hit the side of the turret at an odd angle, you can potentially damage the vehicle. And there we go, I've reduced him to 3 crew at this point. That shot goes a little bit low, the B1 TER starts rotating. At this point I have to back up, for obvious reasons. And don't worry, once his B1 TER is destroyed, because yes, he does lose it. And also, I believe it's either Magilio or Peregrine Inc. who comes back to deal with the B1 TER by using the one tank that can actually penetrate him is the Panzer IV-E, which is, well, I refer to the B1 Biz and the B1 TERs as the original Queen's 2.0s. The B1 TER is 2.3, I think. But yeah, oh hang on, we got a Stuart here. One shot, ammo rack, which I thought was rather satisfying. 6th kill. There's only one more to go, ladies and gentlemen, but don't worry, it's going to be a good one. And here comes Peregrine Inc. in his Panzer IV-E. Can someone ping TER? Obviously you can't see it in the replay, but I do mark the location of the Panzer, or the B1 TER. And Peregrine Inc. is on his way in a Panzer IV-E with heat. This is the only vehicle that can effectively deal with them. I let him know he's down to 3 crew. I penned him twice, because obviously I killed his driver and I killed his commander, who operates the top turret. And obviously I tried to scout the B1 at this point. I hit him again, it penetrates, it overmatches the roof armor, reduces him to 2 crew. The B1 TER starts backing up. I let the Panzer IV-E know that the B1 is down to 2 crew in a moment. And the Panzer IV-E is going to clean his clock for me. I've done most of the work, but obviously with only 30 grams of explosive filler, And there we go, I've just punched it in chat, make that 2. And well, the B1 turret is a tough bugger to deal with. And there we go. Peregrine fires a single heat round straight through the turret, takes him out. Lovely. Now I'm going to skip ahead because all I do is really drive into the crap circle. And don't worry, Walter Picanto comes back. Obviously very annoyed that an armoured car and a glorified Panzer with a howitzer on it has just cleaned his clock on his finest premium. So at this point I cap and I start to motor away. I wanted to get and use as much cover as I can. Check that Stuart just to make sure. And don't worry, gents, or ladies and gents, Walter Picanto is going to come back. It's around about this point. So I'm driving up the hill. Obviously armoured cars are very slow uphill. Even with the fully spaded engine, this thing is pretty slow. And as you saw there, the B1 tried to range fire me there. And there's not a lot of cover to use, so I just parked behind a rock. Now, even though he's out of a B1 Tur, he's still in a B1 Biz. It's still a large danger to this vehicle. Well then again, anything with a machine gun that can pen more than 8mm is a threat to this vehicle. Let's be realistic. But this is a reasonable position to defend from against the B1 Biz, but the problem is the gun depression. I'll make that point known. The gun depression it's good, but it's not quite AB41. Now, so the B1 has just been pinged by a teammate to the left in a Flak Panzer, and he's also been pinged by the Panzer IV. Attempt to fire there. Non-penetration. No idea what it didn't penetrate. The tyres actually start scurrying at this point. Scurrying like a Frenchman when they're ordered to retreat. Which is kind of ironic because we're shooting at the B1 heavy tank and I'm the one retreating. So I'm trying to go for the side of the turret. I hit the wrong spot on that B1. I didn't have adjustment of fire in this battle. That may have been why, but even so, the adjustment of fire is a very handy upgrade to get on this vehicle because you do have a lot of shot diversions. So at this point the B1 is distracted, so I start to reverse. Now, for the added 18 horsepower I think I mentioned, you do gain 2 miles an hour in forward gears, but you don't gain any speed in reverse. But as you can see, the reverse is just fine. It's perfect for this position. So I back up, the B1 just can't get his turret around fast enough, and now I'm back in my original spot. There's actually a couple of French tanks pushing over there. I did see it at the time. I thought it was an AMC, but I can't engage them at the moment. The B1 matters more. And there's the B1. But unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen, gun depression. You really do have to watch where you're positioned in this vehicle. And in a couple of minutes, that Walter Picanto guy, fair enough, he's going to win a match, but he does get a little bit, well, I won't say cocky, but he does say the B1 is so fun to play. Yes, it is, mate. I was helping Dark Angel grind it, but why do I need to know that? It distracted you, you clearly forgot I was there, and well, you paid the price. Not only by getting smacked by my AB43 multiple times, but also your precious B1 Biz is going to get smacked as well. We're nearing the end of the match now, ladies and gentlemen, and this would be the 4th defeat in the night. The 5th defeat of the night, I sent off to the Digital Time Traveler for his Live, Die, Repeat series. And, well, this is 7 kills on a loss, I'm afraid, ladies and gentlemen. I got a lot of mods done. I believe I got... Here we go. Here comes in chat any moment now. I was wondering what he was doing at this point. I could have charged him, but wasn't going to take that risk. And I'm just watching him in binos, checking him out, and any second now he's going to punch it chap. So about this point when I turn around and he starts to, well, I think he puts in chat. So fun. You can't even spell fun, right? The Char B1. Yes, the Char de Batelier 1 biz is very fun to play, but not when your situational awareness is a part of crap. You clearly forgot my vehicle was here. I think I hit the radio there. I attempted to overmatch the side armor, didn't work. Come to the turret, and job done. 7th kill. So I quickly put in chat, was. I punched him with GG afterwards because if I was to drive down there now, I didn't know what was out there, and I don't really want to lose my vehicle for a team that, let's be honest, collapsed. You may think of me as being a bit of a selfish person for doing that, but that's just my opinion. So what do I think of this little thing? Well, it's a very good armoured car, as I've shown. The first live battle that I actually did in it, I wasn't too impressed with it, but now it's reasonably good to use. However, do take into account that your gun depression is worse than most tanks that you will see at this BR, so you got to take that into account. The armor won't save you, so don't drive this thing like a heavy. I mean, I even took artillery damage when I was in the cap circle, and it damaged my transmission. But this vehicle is very fun to play, and well, if you haven't tried this thing yet, give it a try, but just remember that gun depression. And I know I've said that about 4 or 5 times now, but that gun depression really does limit the vehicle. Anyway, I'd like to thank you all for watching, and the next Spaded review will most likely be on the M1542. Thank you all for watching, and I will catch you all on the next one.